Hello everybody, so today I want to do a little bit of a reflection type of video of the books that I planned or wanted to read this year. Right at the start of the year or the end of last year, there was a challenge going around the book community where you would have to get 12 books recommended by 12 friends to read in 12 months. And of that, I'm gonna pop this right here. Let's see how many I have actually read, because I feel like it's probably not a lot. I've read 1, 2, 3. I've read 3 of those. I do have immediate plans to read Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I still really want to get to Legendborn and Bone Witch as well. But of those, I have only read The Vegetarian, which I really enjoyed. I read that for the Readathon, which I will leave the vlog down below if you want to check that out. And I've also read Everything I Know About Love and On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous. I really enjoyed all of those books, but yes, I have not even looked at the others, which is a little bit bad. I'm thinking with this video, after I look through everything, I'm going to try and like make a little TBR out of it, or like a priority list to read before the end of the year. I probably won't get to all of the books that I haven't read so far this year, because I'm assuming it's a fair amount. I don't actually know though. I haven't actually watched my 22 books to read in 2022 video yet, but I'm guessing it's probably pretty bad, because I have not referred to that video a single time this year, like at all. So we're gonna watch it together. I'll leave a little thing up here. Oh my god. I am so glad that I fixed my lighting since recording this, because this is atrocious lighting. Okay, so the first one I see is Chain of Iron. No, Chain of Gold, which I still have not touched. I still have plans to read this. Hopefully this year I'll get to the video that I want to make with this book, but I do have plans to read that in the near future. Let's see what else. Oh, okay, we got Crescent City. I've read that one. That's good to know. The Night Circus, that also did not happen. What else do we have? The Poppy War. Oh, I still really want to read that, and I'm reading Babel at the moment and I love it, and it's by the same author, so I think I'm probably going to want to read that after Babel. Priory of the Orange Tree, another high fantasy that I haven't touched yet. Oh, The Wicked Fox. Okay, haven't read that. Oh, okay, that's also The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which like I said earlier, I have immediate plans to read. Then Girls of Paper and Fire, haven't read yet. Middle Game, haven't read yet. Circe, I really want to read, but I haven't read that one either. What a surprise. What else have we got? Ptolemy. Ooh, that would be a good one for Halloween, I think. Oh, The Spanish Love Deception, I have read that. Did I only read that this year? I feel like I read that ages ago. Okay, I've read The Spanish Love Deception. I haven't read Cemetery Boys. I've read Black Flamingo. We've got like 3 or 4 so far that I have actually read. Oh, The Afterlife of Holy Chase. I feel like that is definitely more of a Christmas book. I mean, I say that every year, so we'll actually see how that goes. Permanent Record, I haven't read. My Dark Vanessa, I also haven't read. Eggshell Skull, I could read that one soon actually. I've been really enjoying memoirs this year, whereas in past years I've never really gotten the urge to pick them up. So I can probably see myself picking that one up soon. Oh, Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. That was going to be a possibility for my readathon, like the Breath of the Wildathon happening in October. I'll have a look at my TBR and see how I go. My Year of Rest and Relaxation, I've read that one. Luster, I've read that twice now, which I didn't expect me to do, but I read it for the first time at the beginning of the year, and then recently reread it now for my book club with Myona, which is Rage and Literature. I'll again leave the Instagram here if you want to check that out. And Night Bitch. So with Night Bitch, I am really excited for this still, and I started reading this one. With this one, I decided to pick it up and would give it 20 pages just because I discovered later on it has 0 chapters whatsoever, like barely any breaks at all, no chapters at all. And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna go with reading a book that doesn't really have any breaks. And I read it, and yeah, I read up to page 20, as you can see my bookmark there, and I was enjoying it, but I wasn't really in the mood for it. So that's why I haven't picked that one up yet. I still really want to read it, but I don't know when I'll be in the mood. I'm gonna quickly go grab all of the books that I haven't read yet that I mentioned, and we're gonna go through them. We're gonna talk about them. We're gonna talk about why I haven't read them, if there's a reason why, and maybe they'll go on my TBR for the future. I will be right back. Okay, so I am back. So all of these books that you see behind me here and these ones are all of the books from that video that I have not read. So I have only read 5 of the 22 books that I wanted to really get to this year. Okay, so I've briefly moved the camera. So for the Poppy War, I do really want to read that sometime soon. Am I going to? I mean, I could prioritize it. I just don't know when I'm going to get to this before the end of the year, because I do have specific vlogs planned out already that I really want to get to and film. And I also have a readathon throughout the month of October, which, I mean, I guess I could probably fit any of these in potentially, but realistically probably not. With this one, I'm gonna see how I feel after reading Babel, because I'm almost done with it and I'm really loving it. So I'll probably end up wanting to read that, but I know I will need to try and get my hands on the 2nd and 3rd installment, and they are really hard to get in the matching versions now. So let me like look at that and then we'll reassess later. Hang on, I'm gonna move this back. Okay, I've just moved the camera back because I was getting annoyed with the angle. So with Priory of the Orange Tree, it's pretty obvious why I haven't read it yet, because it is enormous. How many pages is this? Like 830. Now I have read fantasies that are over 800 pages long in the past. I haven't done it for a very long time. It's been a while. I still really want to prioritize this, especially with a companion novel, I think, or its sequel coming out next year. I know I have to get to this like ASAP. So I'm going to put this one on my priority list. Next, I have Middle Game by Shauna Maguire. I don't really have an excuse for not reading this one yet. I think I'm really gonna love it, and it's not even like that long or anything like that. I really like Shauna Maguire's writing, and I just haven't picked it up. I just realized for the Breath of the Wild-a-thon, one of the prompts is to read a book with like fire or like flame or smoke or something to that extent in the title. Now, I was going to read Daughter of the Burning City. However, this one does have flames on the cover, and I am very tempted to read this one instead, because I've been meaning to read this. It's part of the books that I really want to get to this year anyway, and I feel like it's a realistic expectation. I could totally do this. I'm going to put this as a possibility for my Breath of the Wild TBR, because I think that would be a good one, and maybe I'll end up reading both. Who knows? Girls of Paper and Fire. This one could also be used for that prompt. Oh my god, I didn't even pick this one up. I didn't even look at this for that prompt. I just didn't even oh my god. I have so many options. I'm going to reevaluate this one for the readathon because it's the first in the series, whereas this one is a standalone like the other one that I'm going to read. So maybe I won't, but look, we'll see how I feel. I don't know why I didn't even think of this as an option when this is probably one of the only books on my shelf that actually has the word fire in it for that prompt. Then we have Night Bitch, which I briefly touched on before anyway. I read what would be the equivalent to like a chapter in any other book, and I wasn't vibing with the writing per se, and I just kind of wasn't in the mood for something like that at the time. I might try and read this for October for Halloween. I also might just give this a pass for now. I'm still interested in it, just not anytime soon. And then we have My Dark Vanessa. Now this one, I don't really have a straight answer for like not picking up straight away. I know it has some really triggering content, but I don't think that's why I haven't picked it up. This one could also fit one of my prompts for the Breath of the Wild readathon because it has blue on the cover. So that is an option as well. Okay, next we have Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Choi. I actually did start this one. I got up to page 18 and I wasn't vibing with it. It was just one that I put on hold. I wouldn't call this a DNF because I'm still very interested in it and I do really want to read it still. I just wasn't in the mood for it, and I haven't been in the mood for YA contemporary for a little while now, so I don't know when I'll be getting to this again, but hopefully like soon. I just don't know when I'll be in the mood for that genre. Next, I have The Afterlife of Holly Chase. This is another one that I just haven't picked up. I say I'm gonna read it every Christmas and then I never do because I'm exhausted every Christmas because I work in retail. I'm gonna put this in my pile to try and read before the end of the year. Then I have Wicked Fox, which is another first in a series, and I've heard so many good things about it. I was considering reading this for the Readathon this year, but I wasn't really in the mood for a lot of YA fantasy at the time, but I'm really getting back into it at the moment, which I'm really excited about because I look at my shelves and I'm like, I just feel like reading literally everything right now, which is really cool. Oh no, I know why I haven't read this one, because I started listening to this one on audiobook. Like, I've got the bookmark from when I stopped listening to the audiobook, which was page 30. I was not enjoying the audiobook at all. I remember listening to this when I was first starting to get into audiobooks and before I ever listened to a fantasy on audio, and I was just so confused, and so I just put it down and stopped listening altogether. So that's why I haven't picked this one back up, actually, come to think of it. I do still really want to read it. While I don't really have any problems listening to fantasy on audio now, I don't think I'll pick this one back up on audio. I think I will physically read this at some point. I just don't know when. Then we have Eggshell Skull. This one is a memoir. This is another one that I could probably aim to read this year because I feel like I've been reading a lot of memoirs and listening to them on audiobook lately. A lot of them have been covering things like sexual assault and abuse and feminism even as well, and like things along that line. So I mean, this could be a good option for my next like non-fiction audiobook because this is also about a sexual assault victim, and it's set in Australia and talks about the Australian criminal justice system, and I've heard so many good things about it and I've been meaning to read this one for ages. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I'm gonna pop that on my list. Next we have Cemetery Boys, which is another one that I really want to read still, obviously. I don't know why I haven't read this. I feel like this would be perfect for Halloween. This one could fit the prompt to read a book with fall vibes, but for that one, I was going to go with The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which is another book on my TBR from 2022 from that video. So both of these are candidates. I'm gonna add both of these, I think, to my Breath of the Wild TBR, and I'm gonna see how I go, and I'm gonna add it as a possibility. And then we have Tommy. Oh, that is the back of it. Tommy. So this one, Junji Ito manga. I absolutely love Junji Ito. I haven't read this one yet. I know why, because I really like to read these around October when everyone is in the Halloween vibe. So I will be reading this one. I'll read it next month, in fact. And then we have Cersei. I don't have an excuse for this because I absolutely adore Madeline Miller's writing, and I have no doubt that I will fall in love with this. No, I have an idea for this, but it might be a reading vlog for next year. Okay, so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books to read before the end of the year. Night Circus! Oh my god, I want to read this so badly still. I want to read all of these badly, but let's not get into that. But this, why haven't I read this? I have no excuse for this, apart from the fact that at the beginning of the year I wasn't reading a lot of fantasy. But that might change, but I don't know if I'm going to read it before the end of the year. I'm gonna put that in the no pile for now. And then we have Chain of Gold, which is a book that I also have a very specific reading vlog in mind for. And I don't want to tell you about it just yet, just because I think it's going to be kind of funny. I don't think I'll get time to film it before the year ends. So maybe like January, February, I think that could be a good time for the vlog that I have in mind for this. Finally, we have Everything I Never Told You. This one was already an option for the Breath of the Wild readathon, which I could still potentially read next month, but I feel like I'm swapping out a lot for my TBR, and I don't know how realistic this is gonna be for October. I still really want to get to this though. It is a shorter one. Yeah, it's like under 300 pages. I'm gonna add that to the maybe pile. All right, let's go through the books that I don't yet have. So for the 12 challenge, I'll pop it back up here for you. We've already established that I'm going to read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I really want to get to Legendborn or The Bone Witch, but I don't own Legendborn. I do own The Bone Witch though. So this is The Bone Witch. I've heard fantastic things about it. One of my real life friends also recommended this to me for this challenge. I think I'm going to prioritize that one. I don't know how I feel about a lot of the others. Like, I want to read them because my friends recommended them to me. However, realistically at this point, I don't know how I'll go with that. So I've got 8 books so far. I'm going to make the number a nice round 10 for this video for 10 books that I want to get to before the end of the year. And I'm going to include The Bone Witch, and I think I might read Legendborn as well, because I do really want to read that, and also the sequel has only just come out really recently, and I think it's going to be a good time. So these are the books that I'm hoping to read by the end of the year. I will do another video checking in on my progress for this at the very end of the year and see where I'm at. Hopefully I actually complete this challenge from this video, not necessarily the 12 book challenge, because I think we both know that's not gonna happen this year. However, I think I can do this. I think this is a reasonable ask before the end of the year. Now that we have my TBR, that is about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know down below whether you think I should prioritize any of my priority pile. Like, what ones do you recommend? What ones do you think I'm gonna enjoy the most? I'd love to chat about it in the comments. I hope you have a fantastic day or night wherever you are, and I will see you all next time for a new video. Bye!